cot alpha by 2. Okay, hope everybody is clear about that now. Okay, initially I have written 2 times the cot alpha by 2, but it is half times the cot alpha by 2. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yesterday, what we have learned is how to compute the distance and elevation when our site is horizontal, right? So our line of sight is this one. Okay. If that is horizontal, uh, that will be bisect, and that will be incidenting your staff in a perpendicular direction. So that was the case which we discussed yesterday. So we have explained all these one, how to compute the horizontal distance and elevation of the staff station. And this is one approach we have discussed, but there are two or three other approaches also. We are not going to explain all of them. This is one, and we'll be seeing alternate proof or other approaches in the textbook. One of that could be you can follow. Okay. So today we'll be discussing about what will be the distance equations or the elevation equation that we should use when the site is inclined. Okay, inclined in the sense, imagine this particular situation as shown in the slide. You can say your instrument station is down the hill, and you want to find the elevation of a certain point above the hill. Okay, so what you do is, you are in this particular case, you are going to keep your staff in vertical direction as usual. Okay, so in the following class you'll be also learning, we'll be keeping staff somewhere like this in an inclined manner. So that we'll be discussing later, but for the time being, we'll be as usual, we'll be keeping our staff in vertical direction, or in vertically. Okay, so instrument is below, your point is above, and your staff is horizontal. That is the case. So now what you are going to do, you are going to sight through your instrument, right? Your tachyometer. So you will be having these values. You will be having an upper stadia staff reading A, lower stadia staff reading B, and the central stadia staff reading C. And the angle subtended between the upper and lower stadia staff readings known as the alpha angle, or the apex angle, or the angle between the stadia, extreme stadia. Okay, stadia readings. So that is the angle alpha. Is this clear? Now you have cited. So you have 3 points identified on the staff, and you know the angle alpha. Next, imagine this dotted line. This is the horizontal line. Horizontal line in the sense, if there is no inclination, or if your tachymeter is perfectly horizontal, you will be having this line. Okay, and if you and this line is perpendicular to your staff. Okay, so we have represented this as the point F, which is the imaginary point of intersection of your line of vertical line of staff with the horizontal. So that is at right angles, and the inclination which we have with respect to the horizontal is angle theta. So this is the angle of inclination. In this case, although we are saying inclination, this is elevation. This is the your tachyometer is elevated at an angle of theta degrees. This is clear to you, right?
Yes, sir.
If there was no inclination, your the central stadia line of sight would be equal to the horizontal line, or would fall over the horizontal line of sight. Okay, as there is an inclination, as there is an elevation in the side, you will be having a value of theta as the angle of inclination. Okay, so what you do is, so there are other terminologies. First, let us see H. H is the It's a central stereo staff reading corresponding to C. You will be having a value, from that to the base of the staff. So that gives the height. So that is h distance, and v is the vertical intercept with respect to the horizontal. What is the central stereo staff reading? That is the vertical intercept v, and d is the horizontal distance which we want to measure, and l is the inclined distance. And hi is the height of the instrument. All these terminologies are familiar to you now, right? So I don't have to explain much. Is that clear? Is this clear
Yes,
to
sir.
you? Okay. So, see, one thing we have to see is in this particular case, the what is the intercept? Intercept is AB, right? We have studied yesterday. Intercept is the difference in the staff reading of the upper stereo staff reading minus the lower stereo staff reading. So AB is the intercept. This intercept is not perpendicular to the line of sight. So this is our line of sight, OC. Okay, and this AB is not perpendicular to OC. So we want AB to be perpendicular to OC. Then only we will be able to have the right measurement, or all our principles will work only if AB is perpendicular to OC. Okay, but in this particular case, uh, it is not right angles to the OC. So what we do is we draw a line A dash B dash, okay, which uh, which is perpendicular to line OC. Make sure the A dash B dash is perpendicular to OC and it passes through the point C. Okay, so for that we have to extend this particular line B to B dash. So you will be having A dash B dash which is perpendicular to OC. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is, now we want to find what is uh, the extra these distances we want to measure. So before that, what we do is we first measure the angle. How much angle is this difference? Okay, from A to A dash. So we want to measure this angle, which is A C A dash. Okay, A C A dash, A C A dash, and also B C B dash. These two angles we want to estimate. As these are opposite angles, they are the same. Okay, so A C A dash and B C B dash, they are the same. And now we want to compute this the value for that angle. Okay, so what we do, we consider triangle OCF, which is triangle OCF. Triangle OCF is O, C, and F. So the triangle with these dotted lines as the hypotenuse and the base. So OCF you consider. Okay. In this OCF, this angle OCF is 90 minus theta degrees, because this is 90 degrees and this is theta degrees. So this would be 180 minus 90 minus theta, which is 90 minus theta. So you will be getting this angle OCF is equal to 90 minus theta. This angle. Okay. If this angle is 90 minus theta, we know that AB is perpendicular to OC, right? So this is 90 degree. This is 90 degree, and we know that this portion is 90 minus theta. So this angle would be theta. So angle BCB dash should be theta. So AC dash will also be theta because they are opposite angles. Did you understand how do we get theta here?
ಸರ್ ಅದೊಂದು ನೋಡ
Okay. Okay. So we have to consider OCF. That you understand. You consider that triangle OCF. Could you figure it out? OCF.
Yes.
Okay. In this, what is angle O? Angle O is theta degrees, right? From this to this is theta degree. So angle O is theta. No issue, right?
Sir.
And this angle F is 90 degrees because this is perpendicular to the horizontal line. So angle F is 90. So what would be angle C then in that triangle OCF? Angle C is equal to 180, which is the sum of the interior angles of a triangle, minus 90, the perpendicular angle F, plus theta, which is angle O. Is that clear?
Sir.
So how much it will come? It would be 90 minus theta. Okay, so we got this angle C as 90 minus theta. Okay,
Okay, sir.
also we know that A dash B dash is perpendicular to OC, which means that this is perpendicular. So let me redraw it so that, okay, so we know angle C, this angle is 90 minus theta, that we know. We also know that this is perpendicular. Okay, A dash B dash is perpendicular to, so this angle is the one which I have shaded is 90 degrees. Okay, so A dash B dash is perpendicular to OC, so this entire angle is 90. Okay, so, but we know that this one is 90 minus theta. So what would be this angle? This angle would be 90 minus 90 minus theta. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So 90 minus 90 minus theta would be theta. Is that true? Could you
Sir.
figure it out? You are clear now. Are you clear?
Manipulate, sir.
Okay. So if this is theta, then the opposite angle A, AC A dash, that will also be theta. Okay. So now our next objective is to find A dash C. A dash C. We want to find this angle. Okay. So for that, what we do is we consider this triangle A, O, and C. This upper triangle we consider. We consider A, O, C. This upper triangle. In that, what would be the angle O, A dash C? This one. This would be 90 minus alpha by 2 because this is entirely alpha and the half portion would be alpha by 2. Okay, so this upper triangle, this apex angle would be alpha by 2 here. And we know that this is 90 degrees. So 180 minus 90 minus alpha by 2, you will be having 90 plus alpha by 2, this value. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You have considered, you have to consider O A dash C, okay? And this angle is this angle is alpha by 2, okay? And you know that this is perpendicular. We want to find this angle first. What would be this angle? This angle would be 180 minus 90 plus alpha by 2. Is that true? Which is equal to 90 minus alpha by 2. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now our objective is to find this angle A dash C. So we know that this entire thing would be 180 degrees, right? So if this portion we know 90 minus alpha by 2. So what would be this portion? This portion would be 180 degrees minus 90 minus alpha by 2, which is equal to 90 plus alpha by 2. That is this angle, which I have shaded. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, we consider the lower triangle. And if you do similar calculations here, you'll be getting the angle B dash, this angle as, you will be getting this angle as 90 minus alpha by 2. If you do similar calculations. Okay. So for which you have to consider this lower triangle. You have to consider this lower triangle OCB. From that you compute this angle, and from that you compute this angle, like the same way we did it for the upper triangle. Okay, so you will be having a value 90 minus alpha by 2 for angle B dash C. Okay, I'm not repeating that calculation, you can try it yourself. So in both the cases, no, we are having two equation, angle A dash C equal to 90 plus alpha by 2. Here B dash C is 90 degrees minus alpha by 2. This alpha by 2 is very small, so you can neglect it, that value. So the reason for that is, if you take the ratio of OC, this line, to AB, this line, even if that is 100, the alpha by 2 value is somewhere 17, which is very low. That's why this alpha by 2 you can neglect it. Okay, so again, if you consider A dash C triangle, so A dash C, this triangle, and B dash C, this triangle, what would be AC? This distance you want to know. Okay, this is the uh, your staff reading difference, AC, which you got initially when the staff was vertical. Okay, so that is AC, and what you require is A dash C, which is the case when the staff is perpendicular to the line of sight. So A dash C would be is equal to AC cos theta here. So A dash C is equal to AC cos theta. Similarly, B dash C would be BC cos theta. Okay, then A dash C plus B dash C, which is the line A dash B dash, is equal to sum of these values. AC cos theta plus BC cos theta. AC plus BC is what? AC plus BC is AB. So AB cos theta. What is AB? This is staff intercept S. So it is S cos theta. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
You want me to repeat? Anyone? Okay. So if we so now we compute A dash B dash, which is the the perpendicular when the line of sight is perpendicular to this uh, intercept. Yes. So that particular intercept we have computed. A dash B dash is equal to S cos theta. S is the actual intercept which we got initially when the staff was in vertical position, and the corrected intercept is A dash B dash, which is S cos theta. Now we want to find the inclined distance OC, which is L. Okay, this is the inclined distance. Inclined distance is equal to L. And you consider this triangle. No, distance formula we already have. No, what is the distance formula? Distance is equal to, because we apply distance formula, there is no need of correction now because this is straight only and the staff is perpendicular. Okay, there is no change in point C, so we can apply the distance formula which we computed yesterday, which is the multiplying constant times the intercept A dash B dash plus the additive constant F plus D. Okay, so the inclined distance is L, so L is equal to F by I. A dash B dash, they have substituted this value S cos theta plus F plus D. Okay, no issues. Hello.
Okay, sir.
സൗണ്ടിനൊരു ബലം പോരാലോ, ഒരു ഇത് പോ.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So if you are confused, I don't have any problem in explain for the second time. So now we want to compute the horizontal distance. Horizontal distance is D. If you consider this triangle OCF as before, then D would be L cos theta. So substitute the value of L which we got here, L F by I S cos theta plus F plus D into cos theta this value. So multiply the cos theta which is outside. So we'll be having this value cos square theta plus F plus D into cos theta. So F by I we treat it as A and F plus D as B. A is the multiplying constant, B is the additive constant. Or so combinedly they'll be called as tachyometric constants. So the horizontal distance formula is this one: A times S cos square theta plus B cos theta. Okay. Is that okay?
Sir.
Okay. So now we want to look at the elevation. For that, you consider the triangle OCF. OCF again. So elevation is what? CF you want to compute, which is the vertical intercept, right? CF, which is V. V is equal to L times sine theta. Substitute the value of L, multiply by sine theta. You will be having this value. So again, you substitute F by A by multiplying constant A and F plus D by B, which is the additive constant. So we will be having A times S sine theta cos theta plus B sine theta. Sine theta cos theta is sine 2 theta by 2. So you'll be having a vertical distance or vertical intercept as A times the S sine 2 theta by 2 plus B sine theta. Any confusion? Okay, no? Are you guys clear or you are confused? Hello?
Okay, sir.
Anyone? Okay. So we have computed the horizontal distance here and we compute the elevation. Okay, so if we look at the elevation of the staff station for an angle of elevation, okay, so you want to compute, now you have computed this one, right? Vertical distance V you have computed. But actually what you want is the elevation of the staff station. You want at the elevation at point E, okay, at an angle of elevation. So you want at E. What we have computed is V, which is up to here, up to F. But we want the elevation at E. So from the figure itself, you can compute what would be elevation at E, because if HI is the instrument height, HI plus V minus H. If this is V, that subtracted by H gives the V minus H. So HI plus V minus H would be your elevation at the staff station. Elevation of the staff station. Is that clear?
Yes,
So
sir.
from this, using this equation, you can compute the elevation for which the V you will be getting from the equation which we have derived before. Likewise, you can compute the elevation. So you have estimated the horizontal distance and now you have computed the elevation. Clear, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there are two other cases. The case one is what we have already discussed because it is the elevation. Your staff station is above your instrument height, like, or the staff station is on hilltop and your instrument is on the valley. Okay, that is case one. You will be having elevation is HI plus V minus H. So what will be the case if your setup is different? Your instrument is on top and the your point of interest at the bottom. So this would be the case. All the horizontal distance equations would be the same, more or less, but the elevation equation would be different. In this case, if you want to find the elevation here, you can see that this is your instrument height, okay? HI minus V minus H. This is HI minus V minus H would be the elevation here. You are the this is your height of the instrument, this dotted line, okay? From here you have to subtract vertical intercept and H. Then you will be getting elevation at E. Is that clear? If it is the case of depression, you have to subtract both V and H from horizontal height of the instrument. Can you figure out the difference in the equation, elevation equation in these two cases? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the case when, in this case, in both these cases, your staff is kept vertical. Okay. So in the next class, we will discuss what will be the variation in the equation if we are keeping our staff in an inclined direction, not vertical. Okay, that we will be discussing in the next class. Okay, this is clear to you, right? Yesterday's derivation and this derivation is clear to you.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, with this, we can wind up today's class. And we'll see next week. No, tomorrow there is no hour for us. Saturday, this is holiday, right? This Saturday.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll meet next week and we'll continue with this. I think it will take one more hour to finish this tachyometry session. Then, as we discussed, if you guys are interested, we can look previous year question papers and the topics which we missed or which we want to read, that we can figure out. And as you mentioned yesterday, you will be having other workload. So keeping that in mind, what I'm thinking is better we can occupy our class hours itself for these activities. You don't have to do this activity after beyond your class hours. So anyway, you'll be getting 3 hours on Wednesday and 2 hours on Thursday. So why don't we think of utilizing 2 hours for you to search and do this activity? On the next practical hour, we'll discuss all these together, so that in 1 or 2 hours, you'll be having a broad picture of what we have learned, and you'll be figuring out the missing sections that we want to cover. What do you guys think?
Yes, sir. Noka.
And simultaneously, you guys have to write your records. I don't know whether Srija Miss have given you problems to be written in the record. Has she?